There he is. Welcome, everybody, to this edition of CTC Live, the tutoring version. My name is Mariceli Santiago. I am the Director of Student Life and Activities, and I want to welcome each and every one of you to this edition of CTC Live Tutoring. We hope that you take the opportunity to ask a lot of questions and learn more about what we have to offer. If you are here live, please go ahead and type in any of your questions that you may have as we're going through this. Please let us know who you are so that we can go ahead and make sure that we're giving you all the information. And if we have to do something else, we can do so in a way to help you and make sure that you are successful. Ultimately, that's what we want. Is all our students to graduate. This is what makes us happy here at CTC. I know the faculty enjoy being able to see their students graduate. I love being able to see it, and pretty much everybody else. So please, let's help you make that happen, especially starting off the semester correctly in a way that it's going to make it even better for you. So here we have a full panel of individuals that are here to talk about their areas and all the things that we have to offer here at the Central Campus and beyond, because this is not just for our Central Campus students or in Texas students. And so I'm just going to ask them all to kind of go around, introduce themselves, let us know how their areas can help support with tutoring and help our students. So I'm going to have Ellen start, if that's okay.
Can't find my mic there. Do you want Chad to go first since he has to go to class?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was just a quick intro. We're just doing quick intros, and then he's going to
just
start
the
talking.
Intro? Okay. Okay. I'm Ellen Falkenstein. I teach math at Central Texas College, and I also help with our tutoring lab. So I'll tell you a little more in a little bit.
Yes. All right. I'm going to leave Chad for last because that way he's going to talk everything he has to all at once. So then, Morgan, can you please be next and introduce who you are and what you do?
Yes. Hello, my name is Morgan Poe. I am the director for a bunch of things. What you guys need to know, though, is that I am one of the managers for the Academic Studio, which is a tutoring center here on campus.
And Brandy?
I am a librarian at the Hobby Memorial Library, and we got lots of helpful things for your papers and research and things like that.
Last and not least, by far, Professor Chad Burrows.
Hi. So I'm Chad. I work in the math department, and I guess I'll be telling you all a little bit about the advanced math lab and the tutoring that we offer there. Do I just jump right into it?
Go for it. Go for it.
Cool. So the Advanced Math Lab is in the planetarium. We're located in rooms 144 and 145. The Advanced Math Lab is designed particularly for college algebra and above. That includes statistics and contemporary math as well. But even if you're taking pre-calculus or even calculus classes, we have tutors that have gone through all this before. They've done it all. They're like come back and they just want to keep on doing more math. So we're all a little over there, but that's fun. And we're always really helpful. Of course, our advanced math labs are also where you take exams. So if you're in one of our math classes, you go there to take your exams. You got 3 exams in the class. And I don't know, it's just a great place to work and to hang out, to learn more, just to get to know people even.
I am not going to lie. I have never in my life had a math department that has had this much fun. Never. This is a one in a lifetime almost kind of thing. And so that segues into Ms. Professor Ellen Falkenstein. I don't know how to say yours. I always say it wrong. But please.
It's good. It's like Frankenstein.
Falkenstein. She is another one of that zany bunch. And she can tell us a little bit more also about what she does in the math department.
Yeah, before I start, Chad, you want to talk real quick about the math club, because you don't have to be a math major to be part of the math club, and they have a lot of fun too.
Definitely. So our math and engineering club meets every Tuesday in my classroom, room 109 in the planetarium at noon, and I bring free pizza. So you got to come. You got to come. We do show and tells. We just hang out. We do social events, and we kind of like plan those beforehand. We got a hot cocoa social coming up on February the 4th, I believe. And then we got Math Appreciation Day coming in April. Always some fun things going on there. It's really cool. You don't have to like math even. You just want to hang out with folks that, are just kind of weird sometimes. That's okay. We're all a little weird. So, yeah, definitely. Math Engineering Club, super awesome. Come and join us.
Yep. They also do, once we get going in the semester, they do some homework sessions where they have students come and they can work on their homework with fellow students, which is awesome. Okay, enough plugging you. It's my turn.
I'm just gonna say,
so
most
right
of the time,
next
this is what you need.
Yeah, just next to the Advanced Math Lab is the Math Express Tutoring Lab. We primarily have the students that are in our developmental classes or in our co-recs, where you're taking a math class with another class that helps you be successful in that math club or math class, excuse me. So we have dedicated tutors there. They know how we teach. They know how we want you to do the work. They're very inviting. You can go in there and just sit and do your homework, or you can have someone sit with you and work on things. Can I share my screen real quick?
Yes, you may.
Ursula?
Now, while she's doing that, guys, remember, if you have any questions about anything that we're discussing or anything that you think we need to know, please go ahead and type it into the chats. I am monitoring them, and we will go ahead and answer the questions.
Okay, so if you head to our website and come up here to students and instructional departments, and then scroll down to the math department, you'll see all of our fun things: engineering, robotics, drafting, and design. But we also have the Advanced Math Lab. There's more information here. If you forget where it is, or if you need to know the times, you can click on that. If you click here on Math Express, we also have information about our labs down here. If you click on the tutoring lab, it'll give you, remind you where it is, and our hours as well. But I also wanted to show you, if you are wanting to study for the TSI and take the TSI again, if you just want to avoid us, we're very nice in Math Express. We will definitely help you succeed. But if you want to go right to standalone math, if you click on this TSI prep, there's some practice tests that you can take. And then once you take those practice tests, you can come in. You don't even have to be a student yet. You can come into the Math Express Tutoring Lab and they'll help you out. Now, it's kind of hard. It's not like we can teach you everything, but if you bring some specific problems that were giving you trouble in those practice tests, then Mr. Botkin and his crew can help you with that. Plus, they have some other tips for the TSI. So that's another place that we help in the Math Express Tutoring Lab. Okay, that's me, I think.
Brandy, you want to step up and talk about your side of the house?
Sure. So I'm from the library, and we're right by the duck pond. So if you're looking for us, look for the ducks. And we provide not tutoring, but we provide help with your papers, as in we'll check your citations, we'll check your grammar, things like that. And we read over them, tell you if it doesn't make sense. And then we also have help with your research. So if you need articles or books for your papers or research, you just come to us. You can access all the databases online. You don't have to come into the library. We also have ebooks, and you could submit your papers online to get written suggestions, but you can also bring in your papers, and you can come in and use us for a quiet study space if you need that. We have study rooms, we have computers available for students, we have a specific writing center. So if you need writing assistance, we won't write the papers, but we will help you. And then we also have our study guides. And if you need some individual help, you can make an appointment with a librarian. We have a few librarians that do that. And most likely your professors hopefully will have seminars that either come to your classroom or have an online seminar that you attend, and that should show you how to do citations, search the databases, things like that. And I guess we also have a organization, Cindy, our outreach librarian, she does the writer skill, which has to do with more than writing. It's the artistic. If you're artistic in any way, it's something for an outlet for people that want to come and share their artistic abilities.
And you have an area also that has to do for the individuals that are into health sciences, correct?
Yes, we have the health sciences study room. It's on the first floor of the library, and the two computers in there have programs saved on it, anatomy. It shows the anatomy, and you can study the anatomy on there. We also have things you can check out. Also for culinary, we have stuff to check out that's on reserve. Textbooks. We don't have all of them, but we do have textbooks that we provide in-house. Also a full-on skeleton, and we also have a skull and all other kinds of bones and things, geology stuff. We have a lot of things that people don't realize.
Yeah, so everybody really needs to go check that out.
Yeah, just come to the library, ask us about what we have. We'll tell you probably more than you need to know.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Morgan.
Yes.
Your turn.
Okay. So really quickly, I'm going to plug a couple other tutoring centers on campus that weren't able to make it today. So we do have 3 other places you can receive tutoring aside from everything you've heard and aside from mine. The computer science department has their own tutoring labs. If you're in a computer science class, talk to your professor and they can make sure to get you that contact information and their hours because their tutors work a little differently. They tutor specific subjects only. They don't tutor, every tutor doesn't teach all this computer sciences. So work with your professor if you're a computer science major or even in a computer science class and they'll get you that information. And then another tutoring resource we have on and off campus, these are also for virtual students, is the Prowl. And Prowl is a English teacher led tutoring service. What they do is paper reviews and brainstorming workshop paper type stuff with you, and it is done through your Blackboard course. If you go into Blackboard and you go to tutoring, there is something called English Tutor. If you click on that and register for it, it will sign you up for Prowl. And that is how you can get, within 48 hours, a paper critiqued and reviewed by an English professor on campus. Whether you're in person or online, that is a service for you. The other service I'm going to plug is we have all of these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful tutoring centers, but also your professor is a great place to start too. Please talk to them. They have office hours. They'll be able to help you. Now for my building, I'm going to talk about my stuff. So I am located in the academic studio, which is building 220 on campus. And as Mariceli is ever so politely showing, that is my building. It is also her building. I am upstairs. She is downstairs. And in building 220 upstairs, we offer study area for students. We offer computers for you guys to use. We do offer printing services, 10 pages of free printing per day. And then we offer tutoring, of course, in person and online. These sessions are 1 hour at a time, whether you're in person or online. And if it's online, it's done through a video, audio, typing chat, any manner of ways you can connect with your tutor is how it'll be done. What we do with those sessions is we work them the exact same way we do our in-person sessions. You come in prepared, you figure out what you need help with. If you don't know what you need help with, be honest with that with our tutors. Just say, hey, I don't really know where I'm going wrong. Can you help me figure out where I'm going wrong? And we're more than happy to do that. If you need a little bit more than an hour at a time, we do offer you up to 2 hours of tutoring per day. So your hour starts with 1 hour. You can schedule 1 hour at a time. If you finish your hour and there's nobody waiting for your tutor, you're able to get an additional 30 minutes of tutoring. And then if nobody's waiting yet again, an additional 30 minutes to collectively give you 2 hours of tutoring. We offer quite a few subjects. We are not a specific topic tutoring center. We have English tutors, we have history tutors, economics, math, child development, we have business, psychology, we have some computers. For our nursing students, we do offer quite a few nursing related subjects now. We have dosage calculations, we have all of the sciences. We offer some of the course specific medical classes. We have a tutor specifically for medical laboratory technician students and histotechnology students now. And there is some overlap with those nursing courses if you're in those. Please just give us a call or email us and we'll be happy to set you up with an appointment. If you're scheduling an appointment by yourself online and you don't see your subject because we don't offer it per se, go ahead and give us a call and we'll be happy to figure out if it's something we can cover a concept of for you. Because we had a tutor come through or a student come through and need help with nursing, but we don't have a nursing tutor. So the class for nursing was not appearing for them to sign an appointment for. But we offered the dosage calculations that they needed, so they were able to get assistance still. You just give us a call and we're more than happy to work with you. I do see a question in the chat. If tutors are able to help with comprehension issues, yes. Our tutors are able to help you with the subject itself, understanding it, or if you don't know how to study or you don't know how to understand what you're reading, we can help you with that as well. I will go ahead and put the information in the chat, but you can reach us at 254-526-1580 or ssuccess@ctcd.edu. And we're always willing to answer questions. Everybody across campuses, all of these services you've heard about today, most, if not all of them, have an online component as well. So don't be scared if you're not local, you can still get help.
Yes. And then if you could also, let's go over some other questions that we've had. I need to get my email password reset. I was looking forward to tutoring for my web design class. So for the web design class, they would probably have to go to the computer science area,
That
I
is correct.
believe. But for email and password assistance.
I'll go ahead and answer that.
Yes.
Email and password assistance, depending on which software you're using on campus, depends on who you're going to want to talk to reset your password. For your CTC email, that is going to be student IT, and I will put their number in the chat. It's going to be 254-501-3103. And they'll be able to reset your passwords for Eagle Mail, student forms, also called eTrieve. They can reset your password for something else. I do apologize. I cannot remember what it is. But end all be all is if you don't know where to go, start with IT because they will tell you if it's them or not them. And then if you're resetting your password for Eagle Self-Service, there is a forgot password on there, but you can also contact their Eagle Self-Service technician, which is going to be 254-526-1637. And I'll go ahead and put both of those in the chat for you.
Yeah, and if it's Blackboard, if you go to the main web page for Blackboard, there's a link there, and there's 24/7 help to if you have trouble with your password or if you have trouble getting it at all. Because I had a student who just today was able to get into her Blackboard after a couple of days, but I said just keep bugging them and they'll get you in. I forgot to talk about the online tutoring. Can I do that right now? Can I jump in? So Chad and I, for both those, both Advanced Math Lab and for the Math Express, we Online students are welcome to come on campus. If you're an online student, but you're here in the area, you are most welcome to come to the lab and get tutoring help. I get that we mostly have daytime hours, but we also do have online tutoring for all subjects, all the way up through calculus. So if you go into your Blackboard course and scroll down, you should see either an announcement up on top, or you should see something about online tutoring, and that will give you instructions on how to get in touch with one of our online tutors. One of them has more kind of office hours, set hours, and so she has that on the Blackboard course. And then the other one she'll just work with you. So please, please don't think because you're an online student that you're all by yourself. Your teacher can have virtual office hours with you, and then of course the tutors are there for you as well.
Yes, thank you. Definitely. Shawnee, I also wanted to kind of piggyback on something that you wrote here. Bye, Chad. Thank you. I know that you said you struggled in English, and this is an opportunity, kind of like what Morgan said. You probably need to have a conversation with your faculty member and make sure that you really that you are going to be able to meet your goals if you're already struggling, because your faculty member can actually kind of break it down for you, and then you can kind of come up with potential solutions together. The other thing is, I really always recommend people either going to some sort of tutoring from day one. And I know that Dean Starkey is in here hidden somewhere, and she's out here. That's one of her things. Start from first week, start going to tutoring, start having these conversations with them. And even if you don't really have a lot to talk about now, it's okay. Just start making those connections so that way, whenever you do need help, they know who you are, and you know how to make the appointments, and you know where you know how to do that process. So if you're struggling with English, then already start having a conversation maybe with the academic tutors, and go. I've seen students already up there. And they're already getting assistance. The same thing, if it's English, maybe talk to some of the PROW tutors as well. They might be able to guide you through some of these processes in the library. That's why we're giving you these resources, because sometimes you need to know where to go to get some of these answers, and we want to make sure that we're giving you all of the options so that you can pick what's best suited for you and your situation. I'm also noticed that we had another comment on research projects. Will the suggestions that are offered through like the library and some of these other places be held against you? Can you kind of elaborate? I think it's talking about like making sure that they're not going to get in trouble because of things like plagiarism or things of that nature. And I don't know if Brandy, you might be able to help with that.
That's kind of what we do. We help you make sure that you're not plagiarizing, and we give you tips and tricks on how to quote something or how to paraphrase it, and how to cite everything. And we also, when we check on the papers, we run it through Grammarly, which also has an AI checker and a my brain just went dead. Plagiarism checker. So yeah, if you come into the library, we can help you with that for sure. We can sit down one-on-one with you and go through and, check and see if there are things that might be questionable.
Yeah. And that's something that I would tell you. I would any of the faculty here on campus would rather that you use one of the resources that we have here, because we already know what's acceptable and what's not for us. If for some reason you go somewhere else, they may use some resources that may be questionable, or they may get you in trouble. So that's why we want to really stress the options that we have here, because all of the tutors know up to what point they can go, for example, to not make it to the point where you're going to get in trouble. Same thing with librarians, PROL faculty, all of them. They know what that threshold is, and they're not going to let you go beyond that so that you get in trouble. So that's why it sounds like you needed to be here today, which is a good thing, because I'm hoping that you'll get some of these answers and that you'll be that much more successful because you now know some of these things. Great questions. Keep them coming, guys. This is great. That is exactly what we're here for, is to be able to answer some of these questions, doubts, that maybe you're not sure how to handle, especially if this is your first semester, or if you've been here for a while and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a situation where you want to go ahead and participate. Let's see. Oh, and for those of you that don't realize, popped in out of nowhere, but this is our Dean Extraordinaire. I don't know what happened, but now she has video. So hi, this is Dean Julie Starkey, and she is the Dean of Student Success and Persistence. And Morgan and I fall under her umbrella, but she collaborates with all of the areas to be able to make sure that you are successful, because that's what we're here for. You want to say hi?
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, can I just tell students that are listening in, and this is what I tell students at New Student Orientation, the hardest part for using any of our resources on campus, and tutoring is just one of the many resources, is opening that door and walking through that door and saying, I need help, whether it's be physically walking through the door or picking up the phone or sending the email. And can I tell you, the group that is sitting here today, these are the most wonderful people. They're never going to look at you and say, all you literally have to do is walk in any one of their doors and say, I need help. They will take it from there. They're going to drive the questions. They're going to say, hey, talk to me. That's all you have to do. And I know that's the hardest part sometime. But I was wondering if you, particularly maybe if you guys could talk, because I had just gotten a call from a student about AI and about the use of AI in classes. And are they going to get in trouble? And I don't know. Can you guys talk to them? Because I know sometimes our tutors, all of you guys probably get this question from students. And if you guys could talk about the AI and the interplay with tutoring. Tutoring is not AI assistance, but I think all of the tutors are well, like Brandy talked about, well trained in helping you to stay clear of this. But if you guys can talk about that, given the fact that I just got a call from a student on this.
Well, in the library, I mean, AI basically writes the paper for you, so you don't want to use that. That's plagiarism, flat out. And so what you want to do is steer clear of it. And yes, Grammarly may be AI led, but it doesn't write it for you. It gives you suggestions. And that's what we run through, is it will check and see if there's any AI detected on the papers, but I would just steer clear of AI in general. It just makes it easier on you, and make sure you cite everything. Citation is the most important thing, because then you can't say, well, I didn't know I was supposed to not do that. It just covers you regardless. Just cite.
And I will say about the library with the citations, I went there once because I had a site of a freaking YouTube. I had no idea how to do that. Like, how do you cite a YouTube? I don't know how to do that. And I had to go over there and be like, I don't know what to do. Help me figure this out. And they were great, and they helped me figure it out. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. I would like to say all day long, but not all day, but we do it quite often. And it's something that we can find a citation. If you have like a YouTube video or a movie quote or something, we'll find the citation for it. So
yes, and the databases.
When it comes to math, you definitely want to stay away from AI, because AI is usually not right yet. AI hasn't figured all the math out. And so a lot of times you can throw in a calculus problem in there and they'll do it wrong. So it's a good learning experience, but you're not going to get the right answer. And then you definitely want to stay away from Mathway too. I know it's tempting to get the answers, but if you do that in your homework and your quizzes, then when you go take your exam, if it's proctored, you don't have Mathway because we watch. And then you're not learning the material, and that's not going to help you later on, whatever career you're headed to. So in math for right now, we just say avoid the AI.
I will jump in and say that for the studio, what hasn't been covered is we don't necessarily check for AI. That's not something our tutors do. But I have noticed a trend of I'm stuck. I don't know where to go from here. What do I do when writing a paper, regardless of the subject? And sitting down with a tutor, I know the library also has this service, sitting down with somebody and brainstorming what to do next or where to go and get resources can help you avoid getting that AI involved in your paper. Please, please, please just avoid AI when it comes to writing your papers. We're going to know and it's going to get you dinged. So please come to a tutoring center and sit down with somebody and figure out where to go if you're stuck.
That's a really good advice, honestly. A lot of the times we don't think of those things, but I know personally when I'm stuck at something, talking about it with somebody I trust helps. Just the brainstorming, and sometimes they don't even do anything. Sometimes I just need to talk to somebody, and as I'm talking, I'm like, "Oh yeah, wait, this is what we need to do," and so you figure it out. So give yourself the chance, give yourself the opportunity, um, and no matter where you're located, we're here to help. I know I've contacted at one point, my daughter needed to do a research paper, and I went into the CTC library, and she's not even a student here. And I went to the library, and I was like, I know I can get the information. And from home, we accessed it, looked at it, and we were able to get. And the funny thing is that we got it in multiple languages, which was kind of interesting. So it's a service that's there. They'll get back to you regardless of where you're located. It might not be at a convenient hour, but they'll get back to you. I'm a fan. I'm a personal fan. Um, and the same for, all the other services. Anybody else have any questions that maybe I have missed? Any other questions or concerns, thoughts, maybe about anything going on? Like we had somebody talk about logging in or something like that that you might be going through. This is a good group to get questions answered, concerns, because ultimately we're here to make sure you have a successful semester and get your goals here, hopefully get a degree, certification so that you can keep going and being super successful in the future. See.
Yes, I did see that question.
Okay.
I can touch on it and then Ellen, you might have more to add to it. It's talking about BioSig and BioSite ID. So the question is essentially if to register for your BioSig and BioSite, you do have to register your computer or wherever you are. Like that's how it sounds. But what you're really doing is creating your passcode for that. So when you're signing up for your BioSig ID and you're making this passcode and you're choosing if it's a mouse, a trackpad, a keyboard, a screen, whatever you're using to create this password, it's taking the way you're drawing it into account. So when you're drawing it with a mouse, it's going to look different than if you're drawing it with your finger on a touch screen or a trackpad. So to answer the question that was part of that is if you register with your home computer and then you go and use it in the library, you're more than able to use it wherever. It is simply try to make sure you're using the same type of mouse or whatever to type in your BioSig ID because it might say it's not you and you can't get in because you're not writing it the same way.
Right. And keep it really simple, like ones and sevens, maybe even fours, so that you're just doing a line or you're doing, right? I forget how many numbers you need. But if you try to get all fancy, that's when you have trouble recreating it. So a student told me that because I was having a time. I was trying to be too fancy.
I will also plug that one of our online assistants for our business courses, Dr. Angela Reese, partnered with Maricelio a couple semesters ago and did a very, very, very wonderful Blackboard overview. Maricelia's already got it. Her and I think the same so much.
Awesome.
If you watch that video, it talks about BioSig in depth, quite in depth, and you'll be able to get some questions answered that we might not have even thought of.
And she shows you how to set it up and how it works, all of that. So it's a really good opportunity. I highly recommend it. If you can't see it, it is in the Central Texas College YouTube page. Just type in Blackboard. There's going to be a few options. Find the one that's only like a few months old, and that's the most up-to-date version of it. Because Blackboard did make some changes within this last year. Have some patience with your faculty. Most of them have already figured out all the kinks and how things are different and how it works. But every once in a while, there might be something different and they're still trying to figure it out too. So the same way that you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, that happens to them too.
This was a
And
good. Oh, go
some
ahead.
advice with, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Morgan.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
Some advice with Blackboard is read everything. Get in there and go into the folders, go all the way down. Don't be afraid about hitting buttons. If you accidentally hit something that you didn't mean to, back out immediately and tell your instructor and they can reset it. But hit those buttons because that's your contract with like the syllabus that's in there, the start here, that's all your contract with your instructor. And so you really need to know what's in there. Plus, we put a ton of resources in there. So please explore your Blackboard courses.
And I'm going to say something which is not like super official, but I know in the science department, the faculty has taken it up upon themselves to kind of put aside time, not just their office hours, but set aside time to be able to help the students when it comes to having issues with classes. So if you are taking a science course and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, ask your faculty because they actually have set aside times, I want to say usually on Fridays, where they're just sitting there waiting to help any student that walks in the door. And so that's something that they started recently. So if you have any questions, check out with your faculty when those times and dates are, and they may be able to tell you, and you can go, and get assistance directly from a faculty within that field. Okay, so
I will follow up with, please watch Dr. Reese's video. And then if you have any questions after watching it, next Wednesday at 3 p.m., one of our tutors is going to be doing a workshop covering Blackboard and its basics. So if you have any questions after watching Dr. Reese's video, or you don't have time to watch it because it is a little bit long and you don't want to skip around, it's great. Please watch it. But if you want a quick, hey, how do I do this specific item? Pop into our chat. The video link was emailed. Well, the Teams link was emailed to you to your student Eagle Mail, and a reminder will be sent out through your Eagle Mail that morning with the video link as well. And we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have that day. Later on down the line, the tutors for the academic studio host webinars all semester long. We do workshops on time management, study skills, note taking, your Blackboard. We do login assistance. So if you don't know how to log into something, go ahead and give us a call and we'll be more than happy to help you. And if you want a whole tutoring session on it, go ahead and make an appointment and we'll be happy to do that.
And Barbara, I just want to say in this video that we're talking about that Dr. Reese does regarding Blackboard, she actually uses a mouse pad in a laptop, like what you're mentioning there. So she doesn't actually, every time she has to use an external mouse, it confuses her. So you do use whatever works for you and what's going to work best for your situation. And just try to be consistent whenever you're trying to log in. Make sure that try using the same way in the same system and the same computer or whatever it may be. But you don't have to go out and get a keyboard or a mouse just to be able to do BioSig or anything like that. Yeah, and you get to see that only once in a whole bunch of years, and that was recently, was she not able to log in, and part of the reason was that her mouse touchpad, the touchpad in her laptop was not working well. That caused a lot of it was a momentous occasion for us. But don't worry about it. She was still able to log in. There's other ways to, it gives you multiple ways to log in, so she was fine. Just keep that in mind that we don't want you to spend a ton of money on something that that's not what you're going to use. Okay, BioSig for tests and exams or for everything?
Depends on the instructor, but they'll tell you. They'll show next to the assignment, there'll be something that tells you have to hit the biosig before you can get into the assignment. So you'll know.
I would
Yep.
also not be scared of your biosig. This sounds really technical, really scary. I promise it's not. If you draw it and then you draw it weird the one time and then for months you can't get it to work on the first try, you can reset it. I've had to reset mine before because I don't know how I was drawing it. I was starting to draw it differently and it wasn't working anymore. So you can reset them if you have to. It's not a huge scary thing.
It's just like your phone. I don't know if anybody's had it, but your phone, if you put your thumbprint on it, it works. Well, part of the for me, I did a drastic weight loss at one point, and the thumbprint stopped working because it changed. My body changed and it stopped working. I was like, oh no. So I just had to reset it and it was fine. But that happens and there's understandable. So don't worry about it. It's fine. Let's see.
I did see a question about Grammarly and is it part of plagiarism? I'm going to tell you that if a large majority of your work is not your own words and you are not citing it, it is plagiarism. But Grammarly works as an assistant to help you figure out where you've got spelling errors, where the sentence could be stronger. That's not going to be plagiarism. That's different.
That's more closely to what the librarians would do or tutoring prowl. Barbara, you're fine. That's what you're here for. Honestly, that's the whole point. Ask all the questions, get all those clarifications. That's the whole purpose of us doing this, is to kind of get you to get any questions out of the way. So when it's time for you to go in and do something, you're going to feel that much more confident. So yes, don't worry about it. You're doing great. Honestly, we love the fact you're asking questions. I do. So anybody else have any questions or anything else that they want to add? Because this has been very informative, I think. We've had a great conversation, and that always makes it a lot of fun. Anybody else? Going once?
I will say if you don't like the way your tutoring style is happening with one tutor or one department, I am not going to feel offended at all. If you hopscotch from my math tutors and go to Ellen's or Chad's math tutors, please find who works for you. Everybody tutors differently. Please find somebody that works with you. Everybody's got a different learning style.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Ultimately, all we want is for y'all to be successful. That's it. That is it. Whatever else happens, it doesn't matter. How we get there for us, we're good. As long as you're successful, we're happy. And if you're like, oh, I don't like what you're doing, can I get somebody else? Sure, let's do that. Let's find you know what, you might want to try with them or with them and see if that's a better fit. That's fine. Just be successful, guys. I'm telling you, we want to see you be successful, graduate, and meet your goals. Ultimately, that's it. I'm going to put in the chat my contact information just in case anybody has any questions and you want to send me an email as a follow-up. Maybe you're fine now, but in an hour, you're like, oh my God, I don't remember what that question was, or I never got an answer. Please go ahead and save it. We are here for you. That's the bottom line. And so everybody else is putting it in the chat, which is good because that's going to be very helpful, hopefully, to all of you. And unless you guys have anything else, this has been our CTC Live for tutoring. Thank you very much for participating. You have made this a wonderful experience and really look forward to working with all of you, seeing you around campus, and have a great semester. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.